Hey fungi friends, I'm out in the woods in Massachusetts and I'm going to go for a hike. A lot of you guys have asked to come mushroom hunting with me, and while I don't have time to go mushroom hunting with absolutely everyone who wants to go with me, I can at least take you along and help you learn a little bit and see the world through my eyes. I'll show you guys the forest floor and some of the sort of common mushrooms that I'm seeing out here in the woods of Massachusetts. It's been raining a lot, but it hasn't rained for a couple of days, so things are drying out just a little bit on the surface, but there's a lot of cool mycorrhizal mushrooms that are coming up. I'm still finding some slime molds on damp logs and all sorts of stuff. So I'll show you guys where I'm at. I think I'm in a sort of mixed conifer and deciduous woods. So we've got some beech trees here. I know there's oaks around. I think there's some hemlocks. You can see all these sort of beautiful conifer needles on the ground, creating a nice really thick duff layer where lots of mushrooms can nucleate. And I can't promise you guys I'm not going to get like accosted by mosquitoes, or the sound's not going to screw up or something. I'm using my gimbal too here, so there's a lot of firsts here and we don't know how it's going to work in the woods. But I'll show you guys what I can find, okay? I think it's going to be pretty cool stuff. So here's a beautiful little bolete. Oh wow, it's a wonderful little kind of coppery colored bolete. Trying to get it so you can see the reticulation on the stipe here, or not even reticulation. It's edible. I'll have to show you guys more about it on my story later, but I'll clip the bottom off and I'll toss this in my basket. Ooh, there's a couple of jelly babies. I've been seeing lots and lots and lots of these things this year. These are these little jelly-like ascomycete fungi, Leotia lubrica. So there's some of those. I know up the hill they'll put out a big, another big clump. Be careful now. I don't step on the cord for the mic I'm using. Okay, let's see, what is this? There's shrimp. Oh, big rustler down there. All right. Oh, big rustler. There we go. Okay, so bring you guys around. Got my trusty mushroom basket over here. So I got a few things in here. I'll tell you guys about them in a sec, but I want to keep kind of moving along so you can see what's actually in the woods as opposed to what's in my basket. But very quickly, I've got some other kind of ashtray smelling bolete. I know that Tug, Two Gnomes, knows what that is. This is an old man, Ceradomyces. I've got a few more of these things that I just picked. I think these actually look quite different. Maybe they aren't the same. Scleroderma, big old earthball, pigskin puffball. These are poisonous. I would not eat them. This is a peppery milk cap. This is also inedible, but I wanted to show you guys just kind of some of the features of some of these mushrooms. Got a little beautiful artist conch, Ganoderma applanatum. I wanted to write a little something in that one. So there was lots there. So I'm not harvesting unsustainably. I just took one off a big stump where there was a bunch. This little painted Suillus, pretty little red mushroom. It's staying kind of black now. These remind me a lot of candy caps, the West Coast candy caps. They're little Lactarius, and they smell vaguely like maple, but when you dry them out, they really don't keep the smell, which is unfortunate. You got Arishi here, so another kind of Ganoderma. Again, harvested sustainably, just took one. There's a lot on the stump. Got some pretty little Chanterelles here. Yeah, nice little Chanterelles. So, let me show you guys what else is around. There's lots and lots of stuff. I can't go more than a couple of feet without seeing more mushrooms. And even as I'm seeing mushrooms, I see other mushrooms. So up here, there's an epic flush of these jelly babies. So check these out. Beautiful little yellow jellies. Like I said, these are ascomycete fungi, which is kind of unusual for jellies. Most jellies are basidiomyces. But I love these little guys. And actually, anyone who's curious, you can eat these. They have basically no flavor and just kind of jelly texture. But I saw Jules Amanita, one of my favorite mushroom creators. She did a really cool video on turning these into like nature's Sour Patch Kids. So she boiled them in a sugar mixture for a little bit, and then she dehydrated them for a little while. I guess it was a sugar mixture with like lemon and lime, so they were sour. And then she dehydrated them overnight and then rolled them in sugar mixed with a little bit of citric acid, and boom, she had little nature Sour Patch Kids with Leoscia lubrica. So I know that Jules Amanita has a video on how to do that if you guys want to try that out yourself. That's a fun thing to do with jelly babies and other jelly fungi. They're all pretty much the same in terms of flavor and texture. Maybe slight differences. But here's a pretty little purple quart. That's Cortinarius. These things called web caps because they have webbing underneath. But right now, this thing is just sporing out. I posted the same sort of really purple mushroom a couple days ago, last week, but it's got these really brown spores all over it now. Cool Cortinarius. There's a lot of Cortinarius diversity out there. I've seen a lot of different species out here. That one's Cortinarius iodes, the viscid purple quart. I'll probably find some more that are more purple than that one. Speaking of which, boom, there you go. There's a couple younger ones in there that are more purple. Ooh, there's a very young purple one down at the bottom of the log. You guys see that? A little bit right down there. Yeah. There's more purple ones everywhere I look. Yes, there's purple quartz. Oops, all over the place. Sorry, I've got this big cord hanging off of my camera. It's causing the thing to scoot around. So. Ooh, hey frog. Hey little buddy. Okay. Learning how to work around this cord. Where'd you go, frog? Oh, shucks. Darn it. I lost track of frog as I was trying to keep myself in order here. Anyhow, there's frogs all over the place. We'll see more. Ooh, there are some slime molds here. Take a look at that. That's cool. So, here we go. Here's Ceradomyces, the Honeycomb slime mold. It's kind of hard to see with a macro lens, but you can see the white stuff. When they're young, they're very pretty. Right now, as they're getting older, they get a little bit whiter and easier to see in some ways. Slime molds are so cool. Oh, here's some slightly less mature Ceradomyces, so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, yeah, check that out. Cool, Ceradomyces honeycomb slime mold. Yeah, that's good stuff. So I am paying some attention to the comments. If you guys want to ask me questions, you've got me at least for a little bit. I'll try to do the best I can. Also, if anyone likes what you see, please feel free to send me a badge. I do have a mushroom here that I could probably write your name on. If anyone wants to send me some badges, I might be willing to write your name on a mushroom, A little tit for tat, guys. Look at that. Very cool little, probably a Clavelinopsis or Clavelina. It's some kind of coral fungus. It's sort of vaguely purple. It's not super purple. I think maybe tomorrow I'll post this really super purple one I found last week, but these are cool. Neat little coral fungi. I'll pop one in my basket just to keep track of it. So there's our mushroom basket as it stands. I probably could have added a couple of jelly babies, but we'll see more. Let's see, there's like Lactarius, these brown mushrooms all along the side of the path. There's a lot of rustlers out here. Here's some more of that coral fungi as it kind of turns black and starts rotting. So there you go. I can do a little bit of mushroom ASMR with you guys too. But I'm just gonna kind of keep walking through the woods here. So let me know if you've got mushroom questions. Ooh, there's this green wood. So these are really cool because there's like a little Ascomycete cup fungi that grows on this stuff. I don't think there's any fruiting bodies right now because they tend to grow in the fall, but they produce these beautiful little green elf cup Ascomycete cup fungi. But I love that they stain the wood this almost like iridescent green color. It's so unreal. Oh yeah, mosquitoes are coming after me. Doesn't matter that I basically doused myself head to toe in DEET, but the mosquitoes are still here. Thanks, guys. Whoa! What is that? Holy cow! I have never seen that before. Whoa! That is wild. I had no idea that was there. This is that's a genuine reaction. That's what I sound like when I get really excited in the woods. Holy shit. Ah! I think this is a Tubifera Slime Mold. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Okay, well, this is a good opportunity. I can show you guys a little bit of my workflow here. I have an extra camera, or an extra iPhone, I guess, that sometimes I use to take time lapses. And while I'm not going to do a time lapse right now, I will take some photos of this thing if I can set you guys up on the tripod and get this stabilized. Ooh, let's point yourself back down. Oh, I see what's going on. Point yourself back at this this crazy thing. Okay, stabilize tripod. Please don't tip over. There we go. Check out that. Oh, it's so cool. That's so cool. Nope, that's going to tip over. Okay. Okay, there we go. You guys are a little more stable now. Yeah, all right. Oh, the joys of doing things in the woods. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're gonna stabilize this as much as we can, and I'll show you what I look like when I'm trying to take photos of things. There's a tick on me. No. Okay. Oh, today has not been a good day for ticks. I haven't seen ticks while I've been out here, and I've seen like 3 of them today. So, okay. All right. Carefully get my backpack off here without tipping over my camera, getting stung by mosquitoes, tripping over myself. My goodness. There's like a whole checklist of things I gotta figure out when I work in the woods, you know? Okay, so now if I had all the time in the world, I would set up and take a time lapse of this stuff pulsing and growing and looking insane, but I gotta go home and have dinner, so I'm just out here having some fun. Oh my gosh, so look at it. So I've got my little macro lens on. Mosquitoes, get. There's like 20 mosquitoes right around the lens. Alright, so if I'm going to work taking macro shots, and I need both my hands to do that, sometimes I'll put my neck thing over my face to try to deter the mosquitoes. Got my macro lens on here. There are like 800 mosquitoes around me, but for the love of the slime mold, for the love of the mushrooms, I do it for you guys. I risk life and limb by getting mosquito bites all over myself. Tick bites, all sorts of stuff. But oh my gosh, look at this slime mold. Oh, it's so cool. I love it. I am so impressed by this amazing. I think it's a Tubifera, like maybe a raspberry slime mold or something. But oh gosh, look at that. That's so cool. There's this like fluffy white stuff on top. Oh, neat. What a cool sporangia. That's the spore producing body of this slime mold. Wow. Would you look at that? Hopefully you guys will see these on a Slime Mold Sunday post at some point. What a neat slime mold. Oh, love slime molds. So yeah, slime molds aren't mushrooms. They are protists, kind of like an amoeba. And they live in a similar habitat and similar lifestyle as mushrooms, and they grow in similar times. But they don't form mycelium. They just kind of have this like moving giant cell, essentially, that moves and pulses and winds its way around the forest floor, called plasmodium. And the plasmodium, once it eventually kind of reaches its point of running out of nutrients, or the conditions are no longer right, it will transition to being a sporangia and form slime molds. So there's mosquitoes like literally perched on my my phone thing here. Hang on, I think I see what could be an amanita. Let's take a look. What is this? It's definitely an amanita. So dig down, see the vulva of this thing. I don't know my amanitas that well, but this one could well be the Destroying Angel, but it's a little yellowy, so I'm not totally sure. This could be an insanely deadly mushroom. The Destroying Angel, Amanita bispogera, Does have a skirt or an annulus like that. Usually has a white stipe, relatively smooth cap. But if this is Bisporgera, the destroying angel, this contains amatoxin, which will bind irreversibly to RNA polymerase 2. Get out of here, mosquito. RNA polymerase 2 in your liver and shut down all liver function. So it inhibits the enzyme in your liver that basically helps make protein, and then you die. You're fine for about the first 12 hours, and then you go through excruciating pain for like 12 days or so, and then you die. So it's really good to be able to identify poisonous mushrooms. Destroying angel and amanita is a really good one to know. The death cap is also a good one to know. Let's see. There's some big old trees here. There's a big downed one. There's a big healthy one. And whenever I see stuff like this, I always take a good look around, because established trees are good at pooping out mushrooms, and downed trees are good at getting digested by mushrooms. So here in the rocks, I've got more of these pigskin puffballs, these sclerodermas. So those are really like dark and purple inside. So you can like pop one open for you guys, so you can see it. I'm gonna put you down for a second. Okay. So you'll be able to see this pigskin puffball. Use my handy dandy little open L knife here. I like this as a mushroom knife a lot, and if you guys want one, you can get one from Far West Fungi or North Spore, both of which I have discount codes for. So if you want to buy one of these open L knives, check out my website and the mushroom discount tab. Like I said, North Spore and Far West sell them. So here's a little bit of real-time mushroom ASMR for you guys. See, it's all black inside. Pigskin puffball, scleroderma. These are poisonous. These are very bad for you. So do not eat them. But they're very, very common, so I don't feel bad about cutting this up. There's tons of them around here. Anyhow, they turn purple at maturity, and then they turn into big puffballs and poop their spores all over the place. But I think they have pretty like solid texture, so they are fun to cut up. Okay, so I'll keep you guys moving on our tour of the woods here. Like I said, if anyone wants to send me a badge, I would be very appreciative. It does look like black garlic. Yep, except the outside is hard and woody and tough. There's a couple of rustlers down the path. Rustlers are mycorrhizal mushrooms, very common here. Rustlers have very variable appearance. I have a hard time IDing them, but they're all known for having pretty like brittle flesh, and they're called brittle gills is their common name, because if you mess around with gills for a second, they break and shatter. So rustlers have everything from like red to green to purple caps and stuff like that, yellow. So they can be hard to ID, but some rustlers are good to eat, some are kind of spicy, a few of them are poisonous. I don't eat a lot of rustler because I find them tricky to ID. There's one that I really like out here on the west coast, or east coast, called the green cracking rustler, because it has a green cap covered in cracks, and it's pretty unambiguous. So I do like that one. I find Lactarius a little bit easier to identify. They have sort of more characteristics and features you can follow and make sense of. So alright. Ooh, well, there's a rustler. This might even be a green one, it just doesn't really have cracks on it, but there's another rustler getting chewed away by bugs and stuff, so I'll just leave that where it is. Yeah, there's a slightly better one. If you find one mushroom, there's a good chance there's another one pretty nearby. So I'll pop this out. Yeah, that's the green one. It's not really cracking right now, but it's green. God, mosquitoes, every time I stop for like a second, mosquitoes are on me. Here's a whole bunch more Ceradomyces slime mold on this thing. Oh, actually, no, that's not Ceradomyces. That's some other kind of white crust fungus. I don't know what that is. Ow, skeeter. Well, keep moving. Oh, it's probably Polypore, right? There's a bunch of white stuff all over this log here. So, some kind of Polypore. Is this more of the Ceradomyces? No, this is something else. Maybe it is. I can tell unless I have my macro lens on. But there is different forms of Ceradomyces. The honeycombs can take different morphologies, so it'll be the same thing, but look a little different. There's some kind of brown mushroom down there. Oh, there's such a mixture of textures and colors all over the woods right now. It can be almost overwhelming when you go out and try to look for something. But it really helps to be able to key into like the luminosity of stuff. And that's what I look for. I really like looking at the way that the light kind of reflects off of mushrooms and objects in the woods, and looking for particular patterns and shapes that help me identify fungi differently from plants and bugs. Fungi, you're not really looking for something that moves, so it's sort of different than your general human hunting practices. Ooh, spider web to the face. Yep, that happens. Sometimes when I walk in the woods, I'll wave a big stick around in front of me, just kind of like that, to help catch the spider webs as I go along. That's a good one. Oh, here's a tree. A whole bunch of the violet tooth Polypore. So all the way up this tree it goes. So these aren't super fresh. I might see these ones here a little bit nicer. Right. So they have a little bit of a violet tooth. Maybe I'll post. I made like a kind of an ASMR video of those the other day. About this hike. Okay. You guys having fun? Is anyone learning anything? Ooh, there's a little red Rustler. Got a Lactarius and a Rustler going side by side. So these little red ones are usually called the sickener. So don't eat those. Rustler medica is kind of a type species. And then there's these Lactarius. Get out of here, mosquito. This bleeding a little bit of white latex. So yeah, here comes some white latex. This one smells a lot like maple to me, but I learned the hard way that they just don't. That maple flavor doesn't persist the way it does with the West Coast candy caps. I think there are some candy cap species in Appalachia that do dry out and continue to smell like maple, but these ones in New England don't, as far as I can ascertain. I've seen them many years in a row, and I just keep smelling them, getting excited, and then being disappointed when I pick them and bring them home, so I'm just leaving them. This kind of forest and woods is very typical here in New England, especially here on Cape Ann, where it used to be all turned into farmland, and so there's these like low stone walls all over the place to like demarcate fields and other things, but much of the center of Cape Ann was all farmland, and then when kind of the Industrial Revolution came and food systems transport happened, everyone moved more urban. They went to Boston, close to the city centers, and so now in Cape Ann people only really live on the coast, and so in the middle of the island, because Cape Ann is technically an island, there's a lot of like old, cellars and kind of just ruins and stuff from when people lived there, but the forest has kind of come back, and you got a pretty good tree diversity here. I'm pretty fond of coming out here in the summer and just walking around, kind of up by a reservoir, just like exploring. Oh, there's some old ghost pipes. I've seen a lot of the fresh white ghost pipes, but here's what they look like when they go dried out old black. So these are microheterotrophic plants that are drawing their nutrients up from the mycelium below. So it's actually growing on Rustler. So there's some Rustler mycelium down in the soil here, and these are drawing their carbon from that. These grow out of a rhizome, so there's like a thick root down there that's heavily associated with the mycelium of the mushroom. And that's how microheterotrophs grow, which I just think is so cool. Ooh, there's a big Coltricia. That's pretty. I love these. This is such a nice one. Check this out. Oh, goodness, yes. So this is a Polypore. I think this could be cinnamon Coltricia. Either way, this is one of my favorites. It's iridescent and beautiful. Just look how the light refracts off of it. So these are kind of like long-lived polypore things. So you see all these polypores. They're thin and woody. They're not something you really want to eat. But it's just like when they're young and fuzzy and growing like this, they're such a beautiful tactile velvet to touch. And like the way the light looks on them. Oh, it's so cool. I love it. So yeah, it's a Coltricia species. Oh, I can finish the line. There's just the sides of the trail are just covered in Coltricias. There's one. There's another one over there. You know, I've seen tons, and I think there's a good amount of biodiversity of Coltricias, but they grow like crazy when it rains a lot. So let's see. There's a little bit more coral on the ground. Is that a bolete? I haven't seen quite as many boletes. I think it's been a little bit cooler, and so the boletes aren't growing quite as much. Ooh, these are a lot of bugs around these. There's a nasty rotted out one, so there's a bunch of bugs. This is the western painted, not western, it's just the eastern painted Suillus, which is Suillus lakei. But it has these like kind of red cracking tops and yellow angular gills. These are good. Those are decent edibles when they're fresh. Especially if the veil is closed and they're not full of bugs, they taste pretty good. Now, here's some more trees covered in that violet tooth polypore. You can really see, like, just all the way up the big dead tree. So these might be hemlocks. I know the hemlocks are dying from some disease, and it's like very, very quickly changing the forest structure out east here. So there's a lot of reishi around because it grows on dead hemlock, but like if all the hemlock dies, the reishi is going to become endangered as well. So that's one of those things is people don't realize how quickly our environment is changing. Things are shifting rapidly, and climate change is making all of it worse. So it is time to do something about it if we can. These are really pretty yellow amanita. So I'll dig down and look at the vulva on this. And it's important with amanitas, if you want to ID them, you gotta like dig them out from the base. But, I missed the vulva, but you can see remnants of the skirt, annulus on the top there. Yellow. This is probably Amanita flaviconia, really brilliant yellow one that grows. Usually it's pretty small too. There we go. Okay, so going through the woods, I can hear someone shooting a gun somewhere off in the distance. Something. There's another Amanita flaviconia, little yellow guy. So sometimes in areas like this where you have like established trees with younger trees around, there'll be some good stuff kind of growing near the younger trees, because that's one thing where I feel like the older trees are always trying to help the young trees get established. But I just found a bunch of ghost pipes. Here's what ghost pipes look like when they're not dried out and old, and they're all fresh and white looking. They're actually a little bit pink. Oh, these are so cool. So yeah, these are microheterotrophs. I'm only going to pick one here just to kind of show you guys up close. But so they form these long pipes, and they do eventually turn black. But right now, they are fruiting here in the summer months. They're parasitic on Rustler mycelium. And they are ghost pipes. And a lot of people told me after I made a video about them on TikTok that apparently they had medicinal use. So I sustainably harvested a couple, and I'm making a tincture right now. I don't really know what the tincture is for, because if you look it up, it tells you it will like cure everything. And I'm always kind of skeptical of that, because if it sounds too good to be true, it is. And there is no cure-all of any kind, no matter how much money you spend. Nothing will cure everything, but you know, some things have legitimate medical benefit, especially if they're tied up in a lot of old cultural practices and stuff. And so it's good to like review medicine, try to figure out what is the bioactive component, what can we make sense of. It's probably not super sustainable to harvest all the ghost pipe you see, but you know, if you want to experiment a tiny bit, it's okay to cut off one or two, take a gander. Okay, so we're heading down here a little bit. There's a big Rustler underfoot. Here's some kind of Lactarius. This is probably like the spicy Lactariuses. Yeah, that looks like it would be kind of spicy. There's a flavor called acrid that you get from some Lactarius and Rustler species. That's like kind of almost like a horseradish burning. Very unpleasant. I picked the Peppery Milk Cap so I could show you guys what that looked like if you want to see me in discomfort. Basically. That's slime mold. We're back to the slime mold. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Here around, I saw some of the, wolf's milk slime mold, the one that's kind of gooey and pink earlier, but unfortunately it wasn't pink. It was like more mature, so it had turned purple, and it didn't give me the really satisfying pimple pops. But you know, it's all good. Yeah, spiderweb. Here's a little bit more Ceradomyces there on that log. So again, I'm just trying to show you guys kind of what I see when I walk around here in the woods, and like help adapt your eyes to seeing what I see, because you know, I know a lot of people want to go mushroom hunting with me, and I wish I had time and opportunity to go mushroom hunting with all of you, but the world doesn't work out like that. And I know a lot of people want me to do paid forays, which goods are the environment by like messing around with mushrooms, and like most of the time if I pick something up I just put it right back where it was. So I'm trying to be a good steward of the environment and be responsible about the way that I do things as much as I can. You know, I care about the woods a lot, and I think kind of my purpose in getting you guys to be excited about mushrooms is to hopefully make you care about the woods too. What is this thing? There's a crazy little orange mushroom. There we go. Orange mushroom here. Oops, my phone is about to pop out. There we go. Okay. Orange mushroom. Yeah. What the heck is this thing? Ow. Oh, that hurt. Come around this way. Okay. There's some big peppery milk caps. See those big white mushrooms? Yeah, those are peppery milk caps. More big Lactarius milk caps back here. Here's a little pond or a stream going, I guess. That's good to see. Oh, the sound of running water is so cathartic and relaxing. Living in California where it's so dry, it's nice to be out east and get this nice wet weather. Is there more slime mold down here? No, there's just some weird little mold. I don't know what the heck this stuff is. Huh. Neat. Just Venmo me something. I'm open to that. Feels a little weird, but you know, if you like my content and you want to support me traveling and making more cool mushroom stuff, you know, check out the Fascinated by Fungi Venmo or my Patreon. If all else fails, just go watch my. Here's a little artist conch, Ganoderma applanatum. So the white edge there is the leading edge, which is growing, and the kind of more woody parts are a little bit older. Here's one that's been kind of rotted out. So usually they're resistant to mold, just they wash off. Oh, smooth. Mushroom right here. This is the other thing that happens. If you bend down and look at one mushroom, you often see another one. I don't know what this is. A little brown mushroom. Interesting though. Pretty cool. So here we are in the woods. So yeah, let me know if you guys have questions. I'm here to hopefully entertain, educate. There's another little yellow amanita. It's a seed mat. What else do we have here? More trees of polypores. You know, as you can see, like as I walk around, my head is constantly sort of swiveling because I'm trying to take in as much as I can, kind of from every angle. So what do we got here? Oh, this is a weird looking bolete. Oh yes, okay. There's a slug in here. Hey, sluggo. I don't remember the name of this one, but it was ID'd to me by Tug because he said it smells like an ashtray. And at the time I was like, that's kind of a weird descriptor. But he's totally right. This mushroom smells like an ashtray. So I have a guess. then it probably wouldn't be that tasty. It's tasty to that slug on there, but it wouldn't really be tasty to us if it has that flavor. So, but again, I could be wrong. I don't remember if that one was edible or not. Maybe there's some people who do like it for whatever reason. There's no accounting for taste. I've had people, I harvest a mushroom, had people tell me that they eat it, they like it. I'm like, okay, I'll try it next time. And then I've tried a bite and be like, well, that's disgusting. And I don't know, did that person prepare the mushroom in a different way that I wasn't doing? Does that mushroom just taste different where they live? I don't know, is it my genetics? I don't know. There's lots of stuff that people eat that I don't necessarily understand. I think I have an exciting find for you guys. Back here, we have got an old man of the woods. And this is an old man of the woods. This one is pretty rough. Oh, I'm falling over. Ow! Oh, I just fell into a patch of brambles. Ow! Oh, the things I do for you guys. Okay, this is. I knew what would happen if I went live. Oh, that is a really gross, old, nasty man of the woods. See, it's covered in Hypomyces. It's all yellow. It's black inside, warty. Ow! And of course, yeah, I've got a bramble in my thumb. Ouch. Okay. Oh, for the love of science, we're gonna get up. Ow. Ow. Sorry to make old man noises at you guys, but that's what happens when you fall over in the woods. Oh, and I've got spines in my leg. Ow. Okay. We will survive. On we go. Yeah, I see you, brambles. I want to steal. Sorry. I know. No, it's okay. There we go. Sorry, my gimbal, when it gets sort of futz with it, starts buzzing and telling me that it's not stabilized, which isn't helpful. Because it makes the video shaky, which is the opposite of what it's supposed to do, which is make the video smooth. So, this area looks a little bit drier up here, so I don't see quite as many mushrooms. So I'm kind of moving through a little more quickly. If I find a fungal hotspot, I'll slow down and really look around me. But if I'm in an area where I'm not seeing as much right along the edge of the path, I will sort of speed up a bit and try to keep walking until I find an area with lots of mushrooms. So, but it's relaxing. Got the birds. It's not raining. It is humid, but it's still relatively cool up here on the North Shore. So I'm a little sweaty because I'm just busy hiking around. But the air temperature is probably about 70, 74, 75, something like that. Maybe a little cooler. Oh, so yeah, it's later in the day. Now there's another old man of the woods, Ceradomyces in there. So these are always fun looking. Pull this out. This one's in slightly better shape, but no, not way better shape. It's got slugs have eaten away the whole pore surface here. But you can see this kind of the warts on top and the slugs underneath. Slugs really, really, really like the pores of boletes. That's what they want to eat preferentially. They will eat pores and gills of mushrooms often over the actual mushroom flesh. I think it's because it's probably has all its spores in it, so it probably has the highest protein content of the whole mushroom. It's probably also the easiest for them to eat because it's like the softest part of the mushroom. Oh god, these mosquitoes are starting to come after me. They can smell me. Get out of here. You guys know that mosquitoes, they're attracted to CO2, but they're also attracted to a bunch of other volatiles in your skin, and so that's part of why mosquitoes target people differently, because certain people produce more of the compounds, things more like nonanol. There's some fatty acids and other things that mosquitoes are particularly fond of, and depending on your diet and genetic makeup, you'll get more of those compounds coming off your skin, and then mosquitoes will want to eat you more. And so, if you have a family member who's like, "God, mosquitoes always go after me," you're like, "Yeah, that's a thing." My mom was always trying to convince me that if I ate a lot of greens and garlic, then I'd get less mosquitoes coming after me. And I do feel like now that I eat a lot more mushrooms and stuff, I don't quite get stung as much. Although I say that as I'm just being constantly bombarded with mosquitoes right now because I'm out in the woods, which is most definitely their habitat, and they're out in force. So there's a little bit of fungal action on that log there underneath. But again, it's dried out a bit. I think I need to get down. I guess here's a big Talopolis. So here's a big bully that's been chewed on. Lift this up. Oh, there's some slightly better ones. So again, Talopolis, you can see the big white open pores, stained kind of purple. This one's been chewed on by a slug quite a bit. Here's another one. It's not really in that much better shape, but there's another one, a little younger at least. See that reticulation on the stipe and the white pores that are open, even when it's a young specimen. So these are probably mycorrhizal here with these. I think these are hemlock conifers. Okay, on we go. Okay, so is this an old man? Let's see. Show you guys. Hey, stop. There you go. There we go. Old man. Oh, covered in slugs again. So that's fine. I've got a couple of those old man of the woods. Oh, there's another one. A couple old man of the woods that are at home, dried out, that I'm going to use as seasoning, because I don't actually super love eating them, but I do like to season them, or like use them as a seasoning. So I dry them out and I powder them, and I can put them in stuff. So you guys have seen how I use porcini powder. I use Old Man of the Woods powder in a similar kind of application. So that's it, because it had a different flavor than porcini. It's all funkier and darker, but it's still pretty savory. Ooh. So I do see a couple mushrooms in the brush, but I don't really want to delve into the brush at this moment. I've learned the hard way that sometimes you find more if you just stay on the trail and don't go off into the woods, because you get really tired of going off into the woods constantly, and it kicks your ass, and that's how you get ticks and stuff too. So there we go. Okay, here's an orangey Rustler. So again, this thing has really brittle flesh, really brittle gills, kind of orangey reddish top. So I'll just leave that, keep doing its thing. Sorry, my gimbal is not super happy with me. There we go. Okay. So here's a big rock patch, big hillside down there. So I'm up in a part of Massachusetts where there's a lot of granite. So there's lots of these big boulders around. There's all this like cool shield lichen here on the, I don't know, is this Usnea or something? This is a really cool lichen. I just love lichens. Lichens are an amazing combination of fungus and algae and yeasts. So there's actually like 3 organisms that make up what algae is, and they're living all as like a composite organism. And you can make different combinations of fungi and algae and get different kinds of lichens. And there's even like some mushrooms that exist as lichens and mushrooms, depending on like what part of the phase of life they're in. Ooh, so this is, pretty sure this is a milk cap. I think from the cap color, I'm gonna guess that it's Lactifluus volemus, or volemus is what I call it. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you're in luck. You're gonna get to see some awesome real-time mushroom milking. So this is Lactifluus. So it is a milk cap type mushroom, and it will bleed when I cut it. And it also smells like fish, so it's making my hands smell not great right now, but that's life. I need to get you to a point where this tripod won't fall over on me. Okay, so let's point you uphill just a little bit. Okay, get my knife out. Okay, we're gonna get attacked by mosquitoes. Oh god. All right, you ready for this? Get your badges ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you've been waiting for. milk cap here. Okay, so this is Lactofluis Walnuts. Mosquitoes are all around me. See, anywhere that I damage this, mushroom milk immediately comes out of this thing. So, oh yeah, look at that. Just literally dripping out in real time. This thing is this is called the voluminous milk cap because it produces so much of this milky latex when you cut it. And there's mosquitoes all over the place. That's crazy. Okay, you ready for this gill cut? Here it goes. Oh yes. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that go. Ladies and gentlemen, lay on your badges. Let's give it up for this mushroom. Check that out. Woo! Yeah. Lactofluis Walnuts. The voluminous milk cap, just making so much fishy smelling latex. So the point of this latex is to deter bugs and slugs from chewing into it when it's a young mushroom. Because they take a bite and they get a mouthful of this latexy stuff. And then they can't keep eating it. So it's a deterrent that's supposed to help the mushroom mature. And it really, this stuff only happens when the mushroom's, oh, there it goes. There's your money shot. Boop. This only really happens when the mushroom's young. So it's full of this liquid right now. As it gets older, there's less turgor pressure, so the liquid doesn't pour out in quite the same way. But that's okay because the mushroom's mature at that point, so it can disperse its spores. This is basically just there so the mushroom can mature and get a chance to put out the spores. But this is an edible mushroom. I like it. I usually boil it. And you can identify it from this kind of coppery orange top, tightly spaced gills, tons of liquid pouring out when you cut it, and the fact that the latex will stain kind of brown. So a lot of Lactarius can be identified by what color the latex stains. So this will stain brown. It'll be white and then stain brown over about 5-10 minutes. But it's really sticky. It smells like fish. I can't believe it's all over my hands. But there you go. That's a Lactofluis getting cut up in real time. I'll do one more cut for you guys here so you can see this is what happens. So I have a ton of these at home in the fridge. This is why I'm not super worried about collecting this one as an edible. But these are pretty brittle mushrooms, a lot like a Lactarius, or a lot like a Rustler we were talking about earlier. There's it gooing all over the place. All right, cool. So I got one more Lactarius I'll do while we're here. This is the Peppery Milk Cap. So this one isn't known to produce quite as much latex, but it still makes some. It's not as voluminous, but it's still doing it. Yeah, there we go. Milky mushrooms. So this one, the latex on this one is very, very spicy, bitter, chemical. It is not pleasant. So this is not an edible one. This is the Lactarius Piperatus Peppery Milk Cap. You see as it's developing though, it's got these enrolled cap margins, which looks really cool. So pretty neat. All right, I'm gonna get all this latexy stuff off my knife. Whew. I'm gonna get up and keep hiking for a little bit here. So off we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was fun. Fun to show you that. Those summer Lactofluis species are really quite good. And it's good to know how to ID them. I did a post a couple years ago on like the nuances of how to ID the different Lactofluis species, but maybe I'll do another one so you guys can see it. But there's volemus, corugus, and hygrophoroides are the three species that I collect and eat. There's also a Lactarius indigo that's edible, but I haven't seen that one. That one has blue latex, and it's so cool. It is definitely a bucket list mushroom for me. If you want to see footage of it, I know that Alexis Nicole, Black Forager, has done a video on it, as has Jules Amanita. And I think Chaotic Forager, Gabrielle, has done it. So, you know, my other foraging friends find it, but I haven't. Oh boy, guess what? You guys are in luck for another one. This one's even bigger. So let me set this camera up so it doesn't fall over, and I got one more milk cap for you guys. If you liked that milky mushroom content, well, you're in for more. Oh yes, this should do it. We'll see. This one might not be quite as voluminous. It's a little bit older, but maybe it's bigger. So we'll see. We'll cut the base off, and in we go. Milk? Oh, no milk on this one. Well, that's okay. You see, mature one, the milk is under less pressure, so it's still there. It's hiding out in the cracks, but it doesn't come pouring out quite the same way. There's a slightly younger one behind it. I wonder if I do this. Yeah, there we go. So you can see this one is a little less mature, so there's more milk under that turgor pressure. Out it comes. Awesome. Thank you to everyone who sent me a badge. I really appreciate it. I wanted to make more mushroom content. I want to keep educating you guys about mushrooms and doing this cool mushroom stuff, but I got to figure out how to make it make sense financially, and your contributions to me through badges are much appreciated. I'll do more stuff like this. I'll go on more forays. I will take you guys out in the woods with me and show you what it is to find mushrooms. Here's some old men of the woods, black mushrooms. Actually, yeah, those are old men of the woods. Could have been some other old nasty mushroom turned black, but I'm pretty sure those are Ceradomyces. So here we go into the beach. I've been finding black trumpets in areas like this, so I'm going to keep my eyes out for lots of little black things. That would be a really exciting thing to find. There's not many mushrooms that are black, but there is old man of the woods, and black trumpets are, and so it makes them kind of tricky to find. So like looking for something black on the forest floor, which is the same colors as soil and stuff. But here's some jelly babies. We found jelly babies earlier, but these are squishy jelly fungi, and you can, I was saying that you can turn these into almost like nature's Sour Patch Kids. Jules Amity did a whole video on turning these into basically Sour Patch Kids. Sorry, stepped on my cord there. She boiled them in like a mixture of sugar mixture with lemon and lime, and then dehydrated them, and then rolled them in a sugar mixture with some citric acid, and boom, she had Sour Patch Kids made out of Leotia lubrica. It was really clever. I love doing sweet apple. Sorry, my phone is telling me I'm low on batteries. So this could be the end of our mushroom hike, guys. But if you've appreciated this, please let me know in the comments. I will certainly do my best to keep supplying you guys with lots of good mushroom content. If you'd like to learn more from me, definitely check out my website, fastingbyfungi.com. You can find cool t-shirts like this one on my website. I've got this handy dandy little neck gaiter too. Got a couple of them. I'm going to put more designs and more content on my website soon, and I'm probably going to have to adjust the prices a little bit because I'm not even paying for my own website at this point with the amount that I sell. So I really need you guys to buy some stuff off my website so I can keep doing this and we can keep having fun in the woods. I would love to have your support via Patreon. You can support me just by Venmoing me something if you want. Fascinated by Fungi. Whoa, what is this? Okay, I gotta show you guys one more thing before we go here, because this is so cool. Hang on. Okay, check out this crazy little white stuff. Neat. Little like coral fungus here. I think this could be Ramaria, white Ramaria. So cool. Oh my goodness. So there's life all around me right now. There's so much going on in the woods. It's so much fun, and I'm so happy I get to share it with you guys. So thank you so much for following Fasting by Fungi. Definitely follow me on YouTube. Check me out on TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter. I have a Discord, so I have a community. You guys can talk to me more often if you want. And if you want to ask me advice about cooking, or specifically if you want me to ID your mushrooms, become a Patreon subscriber, because I get so many requests to ID mushrooms. I don't have time to go through all of them. But if you're on Patreon, I will prioritize your requests and your messages to me. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining me here in the woods. It's been a ton of fun, as always. I'm going to show you guys one more little look through on my basket and try to help you understand what I've got going on. So down in the bottom left here, we have some chanterelles, some beautiful golden chanterelles. These were growing out of the ground. They are mycorrhizal. We have some big, I think there's a Suillus maybe, or some kind of bolete here, big yellow pores. Like these little coppery boletes here. So these are known as chestnut boletes. They're Gyroporus is the genus. This beautiful cinnamon Coltricia here that's iridescent. It has these cool pores underneath. I love Coltricia, but wow, look at that. Look at just the way the light refracts off of that. It's really, really cool mushroom. These are not edible. Here's a Arishi Ganoderma. It's a beautiful hemlock varnish shelf, Ganoderma suge. I'll post a video about those this week. Here's a cool little like purple coral we picked. Probably a Clavonopsis or Clavellina, something like that. Here's a little artist bracket. Ganoderma, another Ganoderma species. So we have two kinds of Ganoderma here that are different from each other. We have our Pigskin Puffball. I cut one of those up earlier. These are like purple inside. These are toxic, so I would not eat these. But it's kind of an interesting looking mushroom. I didn't even notice that. What else we got here? We have a big green Rustler. So this is an edible Rustler. We've got this really cool bendy bolete, these brilliant yellow pores. We have an old man of the woods, Ceradomyces, white pores that stain kind of blackish red. This cool little guy. I don't know what this is, but it's a nice little bolete, probably edible. There's another bolete. There's a lot of cool boletes here. I don't know what they all are, but I'm going to go home and try to ID them. There's a Suillus. This is the painted Suillus. So what a cool day of mushroom finds. It's so exciting to be out here in Massachusetts and see the incredible biodiversity that I get here on the East Coast. So thank you again, and I really appreciate you guys joining me on this hike. It's been a lot of fun. So bye guys.